Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fourth Down Focus. We're back with the what we learned videos, the reviews of the week. Kian's not here because why is Kian not here? He didn't really watch the games and he's
He
eating.
said he was nearly ready to record because his food was nearly ready an hour ago, and it's still not ready. So yeah,
Yeah, basically Kian's fat and he'll be on the next videos, but he's not here for now. It doesn't matter. We don't need Kian. What we learned week 8. We're here. I've had a few pints. I'm feeling good. So let's go on to the games. I'm ready. Let's go.
right. First one: Chargers 37, Vikings 10. A much needed win for the Chargers. I will let you start.
I mean, I've got why is Gadsden the best tight end in football right now? Especially when I nearly got him on fantasy and instead Kean picked him up. And also Carson Wentz might be dead. Uh,
Is dead.
he got injured in that game and he was playing already with injuries for like the last 2 games, I think. I think he had like a torn labrum or something. Like he's been playing for the past few weeks with an injury just to buy JJ McCarthy time, really. But he's out now. It might be the end of his career, honestly, because he's getting on a bit. He picked up a few injuries there, but it just really made me laugh when there was the clip of him on the sideline. He was like crying basically, and Kirk Herbstreit's like, "Stop showing emotion. You're the captain of the ship. You're not allowed to show emotion." He's like got 3 injuries, so I kind of felt bad for Carson Wentz. But yeah, like you said, big win for the Chargers.
Yeah, mine was why is Oronde Gasden tight end one all of a sudden. I don't know what the stats are, but it's fucking ridiculous for 2 games for a rookie tight end. Ridiculous numbers. Um, as well, yeah. Justin Jefferson might request a trade if he has to play one more game with JJ McCarthy, and that's going to become very, very likely because Carson Wentz is out for the entire season.
Well, it's
So
actually it's the trade deadline this week. No, we're on week 9 now. I believe that's the deadline.
yes, the 4th is the deadline, I believe. Yeah, so we're getting very close. I think I wouldn't be surprised personally because he just had years of just bad quarterback play, really. Apart from last year with Sam Darnold, which was a bit of a flute year anyway.
The Patriots made 2 trades yesterday
They
on the
did,
day that we're recording on what day? 29th of October. They made 2 trades yesterday.
they did. It's getting closer and closer. We should see more trades going through in the next couple of days. But yeah, just don't know what happened to the Vikings. I think we predicted them to win, and just nothing doing. Fuck
I
the
I
Chargers.
had, I had the Chargers. I had the Chargers in this game. I think.
I think the scary thing is JJ McCarthy isn't even confirmed for next week, so it could be Max Brosmer who's in at quarterback for the Vikings, who did, to be fair, four attempts, 3 receptions for 13 yards in the passes he did throw in this
There's
game.
there's a potential storyline here. Why don't they trade to get Kirk Cousins back?
Because it's Kirk Cousins, and if you watched him in the last like 6 times he played,
We'll get on to that game, but
we will.
I feel like if they need someone, he's got to be better than Max Brosmer. Come on.
All I'm saying is the next 2 games are the Lions and the Ravens, so trouble could be in.
We'll get on to
Big
the Ravens as well, but I think that they might be a tough opponent starting this week.
Next up, yeah, this happened. um, yeah, I mean, I see you told me what you wrote down for this game, and
I'll get mine out of the way because it's very quick. I just put a laughing emoji because Breece Hall threw the game-winning touchdown to get the comeback win against the Bengals. The Jets finally made a stop on defense to secure the win, and this was hilarious. As a Browns fan, especially, I'm glad that we've got this game out of the way before the Browns game, so that I can have a quick laugh before I cry. So
yeah,
funny.
Brian Brees Hall with 2 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown to win this game.
And also Chase Brown had quite a good game, which was good because I started him in fantasy this week.
This is going to be my other point: was Chase Brown finally had his first good game of the season, and he still wasn't the best running back on the team because Pirine was better, had 94 yards and a touchdown off 9 carries compared to Brown's 73 from 12 carries and 1 touchdown.
Brown got me like
well
25 points on fantasy, so I'm not he was my highest performer this week, and he managed to clutch me up the win.
Jamar Chase with 12 receptions again.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
To say Flacco sort of worked out any chance they have a winning game is just throwing him the ball 24/7.
Flacco must just be happy that his number one receiver now is Jamar Chase and not Jerry Jeudy, who's forgotten how to play the sport that he's paid to play.
I think it just sums up how bad the Bengals defense was that the week before the Panthers limited this Jets team to 6 points.
Yeah. The Bengals are a strange team, especially now with the whole Joe Flacco scenario that's going on. It's quite fun to watch, honestly.
It's just we're just going to move on because this was absolutely tragic and just
It was
disgrace to
hilarious.
the entire sport. As much as it made it 30-39, what a great game. It was not a good 38-39.
There was also the Justin Fields interview after the game where he said that like last week he found himself crying in his cupboard, which is I don't want to see that. We said it last week. Me and you both said it last week. We're big Justin Fields fans. I don't want to see him crying. So I'm glad he got the win. This was like the first ever revenge game against his own team.
Revenge against his own team.
It literally was because his owner was dunking on him all through the week.
Yeah. We'll move on to the depression pit. Patriots coming out with a big win. Drake May yet again with another very good game, apart from being put in his ass 5 times by Myles Garrett, which still wasn't enough to even keep this game close. I suppose that is your one bright spark is Myles Garrett's quite good.
I shouldn't have drank before doing this episode because I might have to bleep myself out a bit here. I've put down 2 things. Okay, I've put down I really need to stop buying into the false hope with this franchise because obviously last week we got a win against Miami, who we will get onto. And I kind of bought into the hope. I was like, wow, we're cooking now. We're cooking now, boys. We're not. Myles Garrett broke a record in this game. He got 5 sacks, which put him above, was it Reggie White, in all-time sacks before the age of 30.
He also broke his own record in Browns franchise history for sacks.
Browns franchise history record, and he was still throwing his helmet on the sideline, fuming. He said in the press conference after, he was like, "I'd trade all of that performance in for a win." And yeah, I mean, the Browns fan base is split at the minute between people who think that Miles shouldn't be complaining because he's the one who chose to stay with us. But then also, we are wasting a Hall of Fame career here because he's never going to win anything. But like, he was going to leave and then he chose to take the bag. So I don't know. I love Myles Garrett, so I'm glad he didn't leave. I think there's also a lot of Browns fans saying that we should start Shedeur. I don't think we should. Simply because I wouldn't want to throw that poor guy into this situation. I feel bad for him. Start him next year. I'd feel bad for him having to come into whatever the fuck we've got going on right now. Dylan Gabriel threw a fucking intentional grounding penalty, which gave them a safety. Like, what the fuck is going on? Quinshon Judkins went off injured. Carson Schlesinger went off injured, which are like two of the bright sparks of both sides of the football for us this season. 2 of the rookies. I don't know. The other thing I wrote down was Drake May MVP. That guy is insane.
I don't know about MVP, but he's certainly in the conversation. My first one was, why the fuck does Travion Henderson start actually playing football the second I take him out of my fantasy? Albeit it wasn't much, but it was still like,
Browns. You should have put him in.
He actually had yards for the first time in a game basically all season. Matt Collins with 89 receiving yards. That's always something.
We're getting dunked on by a bloke who don't even like wearing shoes.
Just the other one is, please, for the love of Christ, Cleveland, can you trade Myles Garrett so we actually win something? Because it's just a piss take at this point, how he can still be locked up in a cage almost with this terrible franchise.
But this is the thing. Like, I feel bad for him and I want him to go win something or at least be in contention to win something. But also, he could have left and he chose to take the bag and stay. So it's like, what do? You know what I mean?
To be fair, apparently I saw a thing earlier and it says that you trading Myles Garrett isn't inconceivable.
After we've just paid him that much money.
If you get thrown a few first round picks to add on to the first round picks you already got from Jacksonville,
I haven't looked into it, but there's got to be a huge cap penalty on that based on what we've just given him. Like, we're already in a bad space.
Yeah, it would depend on that. But if you got like another 2 first round picks, you'd end up having 3 first round picks this year.
If we got another 2, we'd have 4.
But if you had another 2, you had 4. Obviously not. You have 2 in the year, but I mean, for like this next draft upcoming, you could end up with 3 first round picks, which is huge for a team in rebuild mode.
It is, and we
especially with how good the talent, non-QB talent is in this draft coming up.
usually draft quite well, which is weird because Andrew Berry, like that's the only thing he's good at, drafting people. He's shit at everything else. I was talking to another Browns fan earlier. Shout out Josh, we love you, Josh. And he was saying that he reckons Stefanski and Berry are like at each other's throats right now because there's nothing. By the way, we need to get rid of Stefanski. I'm sick of his fucking post-match press conferences every week, and he's like, "We need to do better." You're joking, really? Okay, I'm sick of. Get rid of him. Get me someone else. Can we move on, please?
Yeah, we'll leave the depression bit. Next up, I'll start. Even with Tyler Huntley, you all laughed at me. You're not laughing now, are you? The Ravens beat the Bears as predicted by me. Granted, I did base it off Lamar Jackson. Still wouldn't have changed it knowing he wasn't starting, but I was very pessimistic about Tyler Huntley's chances. Caleb Williams throwing 285 passing yards and not having a passing touchdown is something. Rome Odunze having 114 receiving yards and not having a touchdown is also something. I mean, for me, just Tyler Huntley wasn't actually that bad. That's sort of my main takeaway from this game. And Rome Odunze has the potential to go nuclear, but he never will because he plays for the Bears.
The Bears are doomed. They went on a four-game win streak there, which had a few people's head turned. They were like, "Ooh, maybe the Bears." A little shout in the NFC North, but they just got beat by Pro Bowl quarterback Ty Huntley. All I've got down for this game is that the Ravens might be about to go on a crazy run because Lamar should be back for Thursday Night Football tomorrow against the Dolphins. I've got him starting in fantasy currently, so I hope he does. And I feel like Derrick Henry, he got two touchdowns in that. He broke a record with one of them, I believe. He's looking like he might be back to form. And Lamar coming back in, they need to win, like right now. They need to win pretty much most of the remaining games to make the playoffs at this point. So I feel like they might be about to go on a crazy run because they need it more than some of the other teams. I don't know.
I find it quite funny that Zacchaeus had the same amount of receptions as Odunze and had 33 yards to Odunze's 114.
Caleb's on a weird run at the minute because like they've been getting the wins, but he's not actually been performing that well. If you look at his like stat lines, like he's been averaging about 200 yards a game. He didn't. I don't think. Did he throw a touchdown in this game? I don't think he did. No, he didn't. So I don't know. It's a weird one with the Bears. The Bears are always a bit of a weird team, which is probably why I kind of like them because I'm a Browns fan. Makes sense.
I mean, if you want to look at some drives for the Bears, we'll just rattle off their drives in the game: field goal, punt, missed field goal, punt, touchdown, interception, field goal, turned over on downs.
Sounds almost like a Browns performance, to be fair.
Compared to the Ravens, which was punt, touchdown, field goal, punt, touchdown.
I feel like Ty Huntley's like a legendary Ravens backup at this point. I don't even know why they paid Cooper Rush. They could have just had Ty Huntley.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on to another one. He's predicted another one because you all laughed at me again.
Did you win predictions this week? I'm assuming.
Huh?
Did you win predictions this week?
No, we all drew.
We drew. I know. I got 8 wins.
I went edgy on the Steelers as well, and it sort of that one didn't work out. But this one, my point for the thing is, I may be the GOAT at predicting the 49ers results because I genuinely don't think I've got one wrong this entire year.
I forgot what we were going to say now. It was something about predictions. Oh yeah, all I know is that for the past 3 weeks I've gone 8 wins in predictions every week.
Yeah, so you're a bit.
I'm like the Steelers. I'm like the Steelers of predictions this season.
Yeah, the 49ers seem to have on lock every week. I think I go opposite to what you and Kean say, and I'm always right. I don't know what it is. I will be predicting them.
This isn't even fair because you get to see our predictions because you're the one who makes the graphics. So we have to send you our predictions. You get to see ours, and we don't get to see yours until the video, which isn't fair because I can't copy you when you pick the 49ers.
Also, Woody Marks saving my didn't really save it, but helping my fantasy week with 15 points. Thank you, mate. What a guy with that 50-yard reception, I believe it was. He then ended up going like negative yards on his other receptions, but he had one massive reception.
I've just got down that Shanahan couldn't save them this time because I feel like with all these injuries, The 49ers have simply been saved by the fact that Kyle Shanahan might be the best coach in the NFL. But he won enough this time. I'm surprised that Christian McCaffrey hasn't been injured again with like the workload that he's getting, because he's everything. He's the receiving guy, he's the rushing guy, he's everything. And I'm also
inefficiency though.
I
Only
mean,
less than 70 scrimmage yards.
The only other thing I've put down is huge win for CJ and the Texans. Like they needed that badly, especially CJ Stroud, like in particular. I feel like that's brilliant for his confidence, being a 5-2 team. I believe they were.
Ironically, the Texans were favorited going into the game on odds.
They were.
I thought they'd win, but I was surprised they were favorited.
I mean, I berated them on the last episode. I was like, there's no chance they're going to win. They're dog shit this season. But they might be fighting for a wild card spot now. But it'll be close between them and Jacksonville in that division. I feel like the Colts have probably ran away with it. We'll get onto that obviously, but
yeah,
I feel like that if they want to get the playoffs now, they're fighting for a wild card spot.
Definitely. Next up, welcome back to the NFL regularity. The Carolina Panthers, as they are battered by the Bills. My big point for this is James Cook. I absolutely love you, because for some reason, someone in our league was stupid enough to trade me him for basically nothing, and he went for 216 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. And put, I believe it was 33 points in for me this week, which was a massive factor in me winning my week. So thank you very much, James Cook.
That same person traded me Quinshon Judkins, and I was happy about that. And he went off injured, and he had about 5 points.
Yeah, I should probably preface how bad the trade was, actually. I think I gave up Justin Jefferson and Kyron Williams and got James Cook, Emeka Egbuka, Drake London, and someone else in that trade.
I know, because it's all you've been talking about for the past week.
Because I couldn't believe it actually got accepted. I still can't believe it got accepted.
By the way, for those of you interested in our fantasy league that we've got going on, I have made an unreal comeback from 0-4 to 4-4. The comeback is on. I'm winning the lot.
You're only 1 win behind me, bloody hell.
I'm 4-4, man. I'm playing Josh this week, and I've got like a plus 5% win chance on him currently. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm playing the man who traded me off his team. So
all I've got for this game is James Cook. That's all I wrote down. He was like, how many yards did he get?
216 and 2 touchdowns.
Ridiculous. And also Andy Dalton should probably just hang him up at this point.
He is terrible. That decision baffled me, saying Bryce Young, no matter the injury problem, isn't starting anyway. And I was like, what?
He was playing quite well. Like the Panthers run a decent little run there. They were above 500, and now, I mean, look at this. I know they're playing against the Bills off a bye week, which is always going to be a tough fixture, but yeah, just get Bryce Young back in there.
I mean, just an absolutely baffling decision in the circumstances to take him out when you actually had to finally put a run of games together, and all of a sudden you're like, nah. Also, I will preface, Billy did trade me Brian Thomas Jr. for Rico Dowdle, who's done nothing after his explosive 2 games, of which I had him for one of them anyway. So,
I've just seen what game's next, so can we move on?
Oh no, do we have to? Can we not move on? Can we just skip it?
Move on.
I'm going to start, right?
Oh, okay.
I'll start. Who has it worse than us at the minute? I can't fucking be bothered anymore. I'm not having it. I am not having it, because you have not got your fucking wide receiver 1 and RB1 sat on fucking IR for the rest of the season. We've now lost
wide receiver 1 is Jerry Jeudy. I can't remember the last time.
The only exciting part of this franchise was fucking CTE man running into people, and now we can't even do that anymore. Fucking Zach Bourne with an illegal hip drop tackle. Fucking snaps his ankle off. Apparently was 1 ligament tear away from never playing football again. Luckily, he is fine, and he will be back for mini camps next year. But fucking Zach Bourne with this is my other point as well. This is the most one-sided game of officiating I have ever seen in my entire life. The tush-push fumble. I have never seen a decision not call that be so bad. It's the most obvious fumble you will ever see in your entire life. But because it's fucking Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, it doesn't matter. Hip drop tackle on Scatterboo that puts his ankle in the wrong direction. Illegal tackle, not called. OPI on Wandale Robinson for a 63-yard touchdown. which wasn't even close to being an offensive
That-
pass interference.
That wasn't OPI. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, not even close. I think the whole world's seen the fumble now, like, and everyone agrees, just fucking stupid how that isn't called because they can't officiate the tush push. And that was my other point. Can we please ban the fucking tush push because they can't officiate it? It's not my issue with if it's illegal or not. It's they don't know how to deal with it, so get rid of it.
I think it will get banned.
It has to. I think that fumble will be the beginning of the end of the tush push.
I feel like in the next few seasons it's going to be gone.
There is no reason to have not given us that fumble. There is nothing. They call forward progress, but he's still pushing him. So you can't like it. That whole game just pissed me off officiating wise. Just awful. But as I said, it wasn't even like the result. I'm not even that bothered. Like we'd already beaten them this year. I already had that. I knew we weren't going to win this game. But you know, you lose your fucking one exciting spark of the rest of the miserable season.
Hey, that's rude. That's rude to Jackson Dart.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, but he got even less people to throw the fucking ball to now. We're fucking working at Deontay Johnson. We've hit that level of trenches.
He plays for you now.
We've worked. We've had tryouts the other day. Yeah, fuck.
He was at the Browns at the start of this season. I didn't know he was at the Giants.
Yeah, we worked him out this week apparently. Which I mean, I'm not against it because it's an okay wide receiver option. We don't really have any at the minute, albeit Slayton looked okay in his first game back, and Wandale's been pretty reliable so far, but just that extra spot because Jalen Hyatt was a healthy inactive in a team with no wide receivers. Probably says a lot about if he's going to be traded or not at the deadline.
Speaking of wide receiver acquisitions, the Raiders have apparently got Tyler Lockett now.
Yeah, they have.
I know Keen's not here, and we're not going to talk about the Raiders in this video because they're on a bye week. But he told me that the first time he sees Tyler Lockett catch the ball and just fall to the ground, he's going to scream at his television. So I thought I'll just pass that message on for him.
Yeah. But for this game, it wasn't even the result. It was just everything else. I think Flott went down with concussion. Our only good DB now finally gets injured as well. Like, we have no secondary. We have no offense apart from Jackson Dart, who fucking hell, he's taking the blame for that result. I feel so bad for the bloke because it's just not his fault at all.
I felt really bad for him just looking at his face after the Scatterbo injury. He looks so upset.
Man. He looks so upset and like understandably so. It's like his best mate and like obviously probably our best offensive weapon this season, like by some distance. So I think it's just one of them things. I think I've written the season off anyway, but just to lose Scatterbo again, glad it's only like I say, it's probably the best case scenario of what it was. He'll be back for mini camps and training workouts at the start of the season, so it should be fine. Same goes for Malik Neighbours, who had his ACL surgery this week. But
I'll quickly rattle through my points before we take up the whole video talking about this game. Big week for the running backs in this game. Saquon revenge game. You know, he finally broke his cold streak. And also Tank Bigsby was really good. He got over 100 yards. I think.
Yeah, so you know our defense is that shite that Tank Bigsby goes for over 100.
Tank Bigsby's a pretty good player. I like him.
He does not go for over 100 against any competent defense in this league.
He'd go for 100 against the Browns right now, unless Miles has nothing to say about it. But and then the other thing I just put was RIP Scat, because like I've said it, I don't like the Giants simply because you support them, and I like seeing you miserable. But I really liked Cam Scatterbo.
The thing is, what everyone said. It's like
I don't know.
Like a loss for the league.
He's not dead, but I really liked him, and I hope he makes a full recovery from this injury. It was fucking horrendous. It was disgusting.
That's like everyone said. It's like a loss for the league more than just for us because everyone likes him. Literally everyone.
Everyone was sad about this injury. I can't believe they actually showed the replay because it was disgusting.
So Cam Scatterbo is that fucking. He's that mental in the head with his fucking CT that he got a standing ovation at the fucking link. That's when you know.
Didn't the famous Eagles bodyguard guy, did he like take him some cake in the hospital or something?
Yeah, he took him like a Philly cheesesteak or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's when you know, like, you got such a good guy. Like, in fact, like, it's whatever. I'm happy. I'm excited for next year. That's the sort of mindset I'm looking at. We have a quarterback. Thank God we finally have a quarterback. I think everyone can admit now that he is very, very good, and we don't have to worry about that position anymore.
Are we talking about Jameis Winston here?
To be fair, I wouldn't even be against putting him in, not because Dart is doing anything wrong, just so he's doesn't get fucking injured as well.
He might. At this point, he might.
That's what I mean. Just throw James in for the rest of the year and save Dart for next year at this point, because we're not going to do anything. So just have some fun. Keep Dart safe. Just lock him in fucking bubble wrap for the rest of the year and just carry on. Let's move on. Fucking hell. Yeah, this happened.
I want to go first here because
Okay, you can
this
go
is like a
first.
statement. If you can point to one thing to show how bizarre this NFL season has been, it's the Atlanta Falcons. They locked down the Bills a couple of weeks ago, and then they just lost to the Dolphins, who the Browns beat, and like we beat them like badly as well. We didn't even sneak past them. We destroyed the Browns. Sorry, not the Browns. We are the Browns. We destroyed the Dolphins, and then the Falcons still lost. The Falcons. I know they were playing Kirk Cousins, but like, what the fuck was this? They made Tua look like the best QB of the league this week. I don't know what happened. It was bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to be the week of Barlett, James Cook, big running backs in fantasy just ghosting. Bijan had 3 points, I think, for like 20
Bijan
yards.
was not good.
Bear in
Bijan
mind,
was not good.
there has to be warning signs for the Falcons where arguably RB1 in the entire NFL is running for 20 yards against the worst run defense in the entire league. On paper, it is the worst run defense in the entire league.
The Falcons are just bizarre. That they were.
Well, I mean, I need to trust my gut because I'm pretty sure I said on the last episode I can see a world where the Dolphins win this game, and I didn't back it. And I feel like every time I've gone against my gut on the Falcons, I've been wrong. So next week, whatever I think, I'm just going with it. Because as I said, they're the weirdest team in the NFL because you cannot predict them. Because one week they beat the Bills they beat 2 weeks ago.
They beat the Bills
to then lose to the Dolphins. It doesn't make any sense.
The,
Kirk Cousins may be a bit washed.
I've said on this podcast before that I was almost a Falcons fan, which honestly, at this current point in this season, I would rather be a Browns fan because at least I know what's coming. I expect the disappointment. As a Falcons fan, you don't know what to expect at this point. You could either go in there and drop 50 points on any team's head, or you could do this, lose 34 points to 10 to the Dolphins. It makes no sense. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a weird team, and I think their playoff hopes are dwindling by the day, especially with how good the Bucks are. I think they're not going to make a wild card record, so I think their chances of their season amounting to much is more or less over. As far as Kirk goes, I really like Kirk Cousins, but I think it's time to consider in calling it a day, to be honest, because it was just poor all round. But we'll move on to try and speed things up here. Jesus Christ! Yeah,
Speaking of the Bucks.
Yeah, speaking of the Bucks, my point is, well done to the Bucks defense for carrying this horrendous offensive performance. Because what the fuck?
I mean, up until this point, Baker Mayfield has been an MVP shout for most people, but I think he threw like 150 yards this game. He didn't throw a touchdown.
He had 6 fantasy points, I'm pretty sure.
Like the Bucks were not good in this game. But what I've got written down, the Saints are actually starting to reflect their record on the field because for a few weeks there, they were like, they could potentially sneak a couple wins in here. They look bad. And I think it was also harsh to bench Spencer Rattler. I don't think he's been that bad this season. And I don't think he was that bad in this game. I don't think all of the interceptions and stuff, I don't think they were all his fault. And I don't think Tyler Show is better. They've announced that he's starting next week. I forgot who they're playing against, but they've announced he's starting. And I don't know if that's the right decision because he didn't.
Fuck me, they're playing the Rams.
Yeah, they're playing the Rams. So I don't know if that's the right decision because Jack Curtis might kill him.
Yeah, I will say, to put into perspective how good my fantasy week was, I had 180 points with 2 Bucks receivers in my starting team. Just a perspective.
I managed to sneak a win against a man who started AJ Brown.
I will read out again. I'd like to read out some drives from this game. The opening, I'll go to how many drives it took till we had points on the ball, which was a field goal by the Saints with 46 seconds to go in. I believe it was first or second quarter. So the start of the drive: Saints fumble, Bucks punt, Saints punt, Bucks turnover on downs, Saints interception, Saints punt, Bucks punt, Saints fumble, Bucks fumble, and then there was a field goal.
This was maybe the worst game of the week, and it was not a good week. Let's be honest. We've not really.
You said it wasn't strictly Rattler's fault. That interception on the 6-yard line might be the worst throw I've ever seen in my entire life. He threw it basically into his face. Also, I didn't mention it with Drake May, but I don't know if you saw the quote was on his interception.
Yeah, I did see it actually.
And it was
the Messenger pick.
Yeah, he said, I'm pretty sure I can't remember the exact wording of it, but he was.
I forgot he could jump.
Yeah, I was just looking downfield and forgot the guy in front of me could jump, and he
If you
just
thought
threw
that
it into
the
his
best
face.
rookie linebacker this season could jump a couple of yards to get that, which is wild.
But
He's
Rattler
still
was
an MVP shout. I don't care. I love
Rattler
it.
was garbage. Shuck wasn't much better. Just awful quarterback play. Also, the Bucks on the 1 yard line. Fucking hell. I've never seen a team fail on the 1 yard line so many times in one game as the Bucks. I don't know how many it was in the end, but it had to be at least 8 times when they were on the 1 yard line and didn't get anything out of it.
I can't really comment because I wasn't paying any attention to this game because it was so bad.
Yeah, just awful. And on that note, we'll move on. Broncos, Cowboys. This is a bit better.
This was a weird, because I thought this could have been game of the week, and I think a lot of people thought it might have had like game of the week potential, but it was it felt like a shutout. I know the Cowboys put 24 points up, but it felt like a shutout.
Yeah, my thing is Bo Nix is the real deal, as much as you may not want to admit it. Another brilliant game. We also, we limited this Broncos super team to no points in 3 quarters, by the way. No.
Super team is a bold statement.
And Troy Franklin has finally fulfilled his potential in a game after a long time. And J.K. Dobbins with a very, very good game with 111 yards on the ground. But yeah, Troy Franklin was my sort of highlight of the day. 89 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns as the Broncos cruise past the dog shit Cowboys. Joe Milton got in the game.
He did. I really like Joe Milton. I'd take him at Cleveland, honestly.
He also threw, by the way, in his stats, three completions, 58 yards and a touchdown out of 4 attempts.
That touchdown was a nice touchdown as well.
More touchdowns than Dak with 27 less passing attempts.
All I've got for this game is that if Dak isn't having a good day, Dallas are doomed because that defense is it was even worse currently than it was at the start of the season because they've got 3 defensive backs out. Trayvon Diggs is on IR because he concussed himself in his own house. And if the offense is not firing, like CeeDee Lamb, Jay Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb. Did I say CeeDee Lamb twice?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
You might as well because he's the only one fucking doing anything.
I meant Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson. If they're not firing, then the defense are not good enough to keep them in the game. And I feel like by the time they started, the second half, they were a little bit better. But by the time they sort of worked their way into the game, it was too late. The Broncos had already ran away with it. So yeah.
Yeah, just bad. The Cowboys are just bad. And I said it before the season even started. The Cowboys defense is shit, and I've been proven right every single week. And now with injuries, it's only going to get worse. I was so unconvinced on paper.
It is much worse now than it was at the start.
It is, but I think the whole season has been miles off it. Especially compared to you said, I was mental for saying that.
I didn't say you were mental. I just said I didn't think it was that bad on paper. But this was at the start of the season. Since then, they've been bottom 3 ranked.
Yeah, that's a crap defense. Moving on to
this is a quick one.
Yeah,
in fact, it's very similar for mine. This is very similar to the Bills game. I've just put Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, another hat trick.
That bloke is ridiculous. I don't know.
4 hat trick games already this season.
I don't know what Shane Steichen is feeding him this season, but he is ridiculous. He's the best player in the league so far. In fact,
12 rushing touchdowns through 8 games.
He's in the MVP race as a running back, which hasn't been done since Adrian Peterson, 2012?
Yeah, I believe so.
And with the way that this season is going and how weird it is, I wouldn't be shocked if he won it.
Yeah, you just reminded me with awards. Brian Burns DPOI.
Nah, maybe.
Yeah, just I may have to start admitting this is quite a good team. I will say
they're the best team. If we did power rankings in our videos, they're top, and they have.
I don't think they're the best team, but I think you can't not put them top because they are 7-1.
I think they are the best team.
They're not the best team.
I think if they played the Chiefs today, they'd probably maybe win.
I think they'd lose. I think the Chiefs are arguably the best team in the NFL. I'd be the most scared of the Chiefs of anyone else at the minute.
Well, we'll get on to that game.
Yeah, but my other point was whoever said that a normal person can get 1 yard of rushing in an NFL team, put them behind the Colts O-line, they'd probably get 100. Because that open up for Jonathan Taylor is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I might even edit in the picture here, but that was
You need
ridiculous.
you actually need to put that picture in because if you haven't seen it, it's the most insane gap I have ever seen. So whoever said a normal person couldn't run for a yard or two in an NFL team, you are so wrong. Put them behind this O-line, which is an absolute joke, by the way, and they would be absolutely fine. That is a massive part of why Jonathan Taylor's gone so nuclear. Is because this O-line is the best in the NFL.
And Daniel Jones.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
You don't want to admit that. I know you don't want to admit that, but he's playing.
It doesn't make sense. Even the Colts fans said he was shit at the start of the season. They're like, why have we got this guy? He's crap. No one thought he was good. He's never been good.
I'll tell you what. I thought Shane Steichen was going to get fired first this season. I said it on the preseason predictions episode. I said, I think Shane Steichen might get fired. This Colts team are going to be like first free draft pick. They're the best team in the NFL right now.
My thing is, what I don't understand, and this is the thing that is baffling me with this whole thing, is just I think that's something that the Colts were praying at the start of the season that Daniel Jones turns good again. There was never a before. He wasn't ever good. Like, that's why I don't understand. If he showed promise and he was good, I understand it. But he never showed he was ever going to be that guy.
Not to the playoffs.
Yeah, but it was because fucking Saquon Barkley was going nuclear. It wasn't because of him. So, yeah, we're moving on. It's just annoying me how he's so good. But again, behind that O-line is probably a big explanation as to why his stats are much, much better.
That's what I'm saying.
Steelers, Packers. My prediction of our A-Rod revenge game has gone horribly wrong.
This is why I didn't change it, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. I mean, Jordan Love was insane. 360 yards and 3 touchdowns. Finally had his first big passing game of the year as the Packers. And also, thank you very much, Tucker Kraft, for them 33 beautiful fantasy points from a tight end.
That's crazy. I nearly picked him up in the draft as well. I'm so upset that I didn't, because
I had him on. He was on my draft board as my tight end 1, and I have been proven right every single week. I've
just put Rodgers is going to retire before beating every team in the NFL, because obviously this was the only game he had left to win until he beat every single team in the NFL. I don't think he's going to play next season because he looked washed in this game, I'll be honest. At times this season, he's looked all right, but I think in this game, under the bright lights of Sunday Night Football, that wasn't the guy. That's not Aaron Rodgers.
I will say as well, to put in a comparison for my fantasy matchup this week, Tucker Kraft 33 points. My opponent had Jake Ferguson, who had 0.
Which is weird because Jake Ferguson's been the best tight end in fantasy football this season.
Yeah, I think it's just Tucker Kraft. I think that's my one sort of summary for this game is Tucker Kraft.
The only other thing I've got is how the fuck did the Browns beat the Packers? Like how did that happen?
Yeah,
Someone
no idea.
To me.
And we're never going to find out because we're moving on. Finally, the Chiefs versus the Commanders, and as I said, I think the Chiefs are the scariest team in football at the minute because they have just.
I don't want to end the video on a sad note for many of us, but all I've got is that the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl this season, and we all know it deep down. We just need to accept.
We need to accept it in our hearts that we thought they were a bit washed, and we thought wrong because
we're all stupid for buying.
Yeah, we're all stupid because you ruled out the Chiefs, and it's the one thing you can't do. I think we all sort of said it with a bit hesitant, saying they're not very good. They're not very good. And they are quite good. I mean, Rashee Rice again, the big game. Travis Kelce's finally had his first proper big game, 99 yards and a touchdown.
Nearly fucked my win in fantasy.
He did nearly fuck you in
fantasy. I had Deebo Samuel on the bench, even though he didn't really do anything. I had no one playing in this game, so I was playing against someone in the league who has Pacheco, who's ass, and Travis Kelce, who drops like 23 points. If he'd have dropped like 25, I'd have lost. So thank you, Travis, for not going too insane. But yeah, I think the Chiefs have already won the Super Bowl. To be honest,
yeah,
I feel like they're just going to bounce everyone out of the playoffs. It wouldn't even surprise me if we get a Super Bowl rematch after. Like we were all like, oh, it's a crazy NFL season. What's going to happen? Who's going to be the Super Bowl? It'll be Chiefs Eagles again. But at least we don't get nice things in this league. So.
No, and to be honest, we just have to fucking end it on the depressing note, I think, because there's not very much to say. Because to be honest, for me, this isn't even that depressing because I fucking hate the Commanders anyway, so I was quite happy to see the Chiefs win this game. But yeah, my other point was
if Scarborough didn't get injured, there's a world where you could have maybe snuck into the playoffs because the Commanders and the Cowboys.
This is what I said because they're so bad, and like there's not really a convincing team that's looking for a wild card spot. There was a world, and I said if we'd won that Broncos game, I would have genuinely started to believe.
in the NFC as well. Like at the
That
minute,
Broncos game was crushing enough to kill any season.
the NFC is currently, I'd say, it's been dominated by the West because you've got the 49ers who just come off a tough loss. Obviously, you've got the Rams, you've got the Seahawks. They were both on a bye week. They're going to be coming back with.
Honestly, I'm feeling really good about my Rams Super Bowl prediction at the minute.
You might not have been far off there. You really might not have been far off there.
With Puka coming back as well. But we'll end it on that.
It's a tough one for you as a Giants fan because I feel like there's a world where you could have snuck in because like
there defo was 100%, but we don't have nice things.
I thought the Falcons were going to like sneak a 7 spot, but I think that's gone now. They're just too.
But that is all we have for you for the One Thing We Learned video this week. Thank you very much for Max joining me as always, and we will see you all next week.